para callar o calmar a los hijos, luego la tablet, pum, ahí está, entretente, déjame en paz, déjame ver lo que sea, la novela, or let me be on my phone. I mean, even if you go to years that I don't know, I feel like when you had to be a man, you just had to be that, you just had to be a man. And a woman just had to be a woman. You know, men were men and women were
provide
women.
support.
And then we didn't have other genders, and then they fucking just pop, dumped on them and shit. I went out there and shit. That motherfucker, he was dying. He was literally dying right there. He couldn't breathe. You could see that his body was full with holes because of how much the blood was just leaking onto his shirt because he had a white shirt on and shit, which is like, you know, like pumping. As he was trying to breast for air, you know, he was like trying to breathe. Like, I felt like I saw a presence of a white being, you know, like in a wedding dress per se or something wrong, you know. You know, yesterday is gone, today is here, and tomorrow may never happen. And it was pretty sad, bro, because my daughter was there, and my daughter woke up next to her mother, you know, not being alive, trying to wake her up, you know. She got out of the room, and then
El GarageCast ya va empezando. 1, 2, 3 y acción mucha.
El GarageCast, episodio número 21. ¿Cómo estamos, compa Buki? Compa Neno.
20.
Aquí andamos,
Sir.
¿Qué andamos?
Y era nomás quién nos acompaña el día de hoy. Nuestro compa SADFOO.
You know the deal.
Muchas gracias por venir a la parte 2. ¿Cómo andas?
No al 100. ¿Y ustedes cómo andan?
Bien, bien. Y si
¿Qué
le vamos
andamos?
cambiando al inglés para que te sientas más cómodo.
No, yo me siento igual como sea, pero, I mean, we could do it in English. We could run it back this way in English, however you guys want to do it.
Que vaya fluyendo, ¿verdad?
Que vaya
Así
fluyendo,
como
sí.
sea,
Spanglish.
como vaya.
Si sale en español, que salga en español. Si sale en inglés, que
I
salga
mean,
en
we're
inglés.
gonna
Ahí
open a
vámonos, recio.
whole new market, you know, it's a whole new world.
Si sale en árabe también.
También, es
Lo que caiga.
francés, italiano, lo que quieras. Nah.
Ah, ya, verga.
We can speak money, how about that?
But they say that money is the root of all evil, no?
It might be. I mean, shit, I think
What
it
do you
is.
think?
See, me personally, I feel like money is necessary. And it's not like, oh, like, I love money and I want money. I feel like it's just necessary to live, you know, to get by, to pay bills, to get food, to provide for our families,
Sobrevivir.
to get the things that we want, you know, like cars, home, jewelry, etc., you know, women, whatever it is. But in reality, you can find happiness in a lot of other things. You know, there's I mean, like, when you're a kid, you don't think about money, and if you're happy, you're happy. If you're sad, you're sad. You know, if you have your parents and your mom and your sisters and you're playing, you're happy. You know, a kid doesn't. A kid, you tell them, oh, you want $3 bills or you want 100, and they might pick the 3 because it looks
Yeah.
like more. You know, they don't think about that. But as long as they get one, they're gonna be happy. You know, so I think money is not necessarily the root of all evil, but it's not. It's just a necessary.
But kids nowadays are a little bit more expensive too, no? Than before.
I think everything's expensive now.
Because
dog.
now they want iPads.
Wait.
Well, the way of life
Wait,
is
tablets,
expensive now.
yeah.
Nah, bro, but it's because of us too, dog. Because like we make our kids like that. Because it's okay because we didn't have these things, but we were also happy just jugando con tazos o con trompos o con yoyos o con canicas, you know.
Con un palo.
But now nosotros y mayoría de la gente, you know, like joven and shit, like teenagers and shit like that, when they have kids, they para callar o calmar a los hijos, luego la tablet, pum, ahí está, entretente, déjame en paz, déjame ver lo que sea, la novela, or let me be on my phone, you have your tablet, leave me alone, I'm cleaning, you know. So it's like como un tenme aquí tantito, you know, con nosotros era el contrario. A nosotros, vete para afuera a jugar, y sabíamos jugar fútbol, o como dije, canicas, o lo que sea. Yo me acuerdo, estaba morrillo, güey, me iba en mi bicicleta hasta la playa yo solo, güey, cuando vivía allá en Ensenada. Solo, güey, ¿no? Y regresaba. Y no, en ese tiempo, pues, estaban más calmadas las cosas, yo creo, no sé, ¿verdad? Pero, yeah, it's different now, the era that the kids are growing up, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's also the parents, too, that, you know, like, for example, kids nowadays will be like, oh, like, I can't even start my day without Starbucks. But who introduces them to that?
Yeah,
It's the parents, you know what I'm saying? It's the mother that's single driving her Nissan going to Starbucks when she ain't got no gas to get her through her day, and she's showing that to her daughter, you know. Now her daughter's like, oh, you gonna take me to school without my Starbucks, you know.
Get them used to it.
Do you think technology plays a big role in that too? As well, you know, like back in the day, obviously we probably didn't have the iPhones, or, you know, internet was barely, apenas iba empezando la cosa, pero pues ya ahorita la tecnología está más avanzada.
You had to wait till like 8 p.m. to make a phone call for a limited time and all that.
Yeah, well, it's also needed because a kid needs to know how to use the technology because of school too. Like, kids nowadays have a fucking laptop, you know, and they need to use that because technology is advancing so quick that they need to know how to use these type of things for their future jobs in life. So if you have a kid that's never used a laptop, I mean, I'm not saying that they can't. They could probably also learn it when they're big and they're older. You know, like there could be a kid that's born in Africa or in another lower country, not necessarily Africa, you know, but then they get flying over here as an exchange student because they're smart and they probably never had the same features that we have, and they can learn how to use it even in an older age. You know, but technology does play a bigger role because we didn't have that growing up, so it's necessary for them to learn, you know, how to use a tablet, how to use YouTube, how to use like little editing apps and stuff like that. Yeah, because when they get older, they already have a head start on that. So yeah, I think it plays a big role.
What do you feel about them like pushing what they are on kids in school?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not in school now, so I don't necessarily know what they're pushing on kids.
Like
So
they
you have
want to
be-
teach them more about sexuality, to be more open.
I also believe that has
I
to
feel
go
like
a
that
lot
has to
with
be at home.
yeah.
Something taught at home. I don't know.
But it also helps too because, for example, like I was telling you earlier, like I didn't have somebody a lot of times to tell me, oh, do your homework. Oh, you can't go on until you do your homework. Or like how I would tell my daughter, like, oh, you can't eat your chips and your candy until you eat your food, you know? So when it's kind of like similar, like there's some kids out there that the only thing they have to learn from is if they do go to school when it comes to those type of subjects, you know? Like I remember I had sexual education and I would never go to school, bro, you know? I just would not even that I would dish, I would just stay home. Like they didn't really care too much about me going to school. Like my mother had to go on me with the board at a certain point because I would just not go to school, you know, and she would get in trouble and I got kicked out of school for it, a lot of things. But I remember there was times where I would go and they were talking about, you know, like the birds and the bees type, you know, and I was just kind of lost. Like, what are they talking about? Like, you know? And as a kid, it's like you're supposed to know this, and that's what they're teaching you that in school. So it's kind of more like if they're teaching you the right way and the right things, or, you know, it's helpful, it's okay, you know. But I don't know what they're teaching in school nowadays because I'm not in school. If they're teaching more like transgender and stuff like that, like I seen a TikTok the other day and this fool asks, he's interviewing the lady, and then the lady's like, he asks her like, oh, how old was your daughter when she started trying to wonder about her sexuality and her knowing that she was in the right sex, that, you know, or whatever. And then she was like, well, when she was 4 going into 5 or somewhere between 3 and 4, she started already experimenting with her being him being a girl or whatever, you know. And it's like, dude, like it's a little kid, you know. You're supposed to ask them what kind of cake they want for their birthday, or what they want to be for Halloween. You don't tell them, oh, you want to wear a skirt, or you want to, you know what I'm saying? If they will find that shit out themselves, I believe, you know, within time. You don't try to present it to
Push
them.
it on
Like,
them.
yeah, like, you know, you should be like, oh, if you don't want to eat broccoli, then maybe you could eat the lettuce, or, you know, stuff like that is more healthier for them, you know, or help them how to do their homework or stay in school, like things that, like I said, that I didn't have. But yeah, that's all that other stuff. I think it's out of pocket.
And you were saying that you ditched and didn't go to school. Do you regret it?
Nah, not necessarily. Because I don't believe that in school. Because
System.
if I would have gone to school and every day that I was supposed to go to school, I would have gone and did whatever I would have done. I don't think that after high school I would have did anything more to do with school. You know what I mean? I mean, I learned the basic stuff. I remember in geometry I was pretty good because I don't know, for some reason math was kind of easy to me, and geometry was kind of easy. I didn't get no good grades either because I was always missing school, but I don't feel like school had anything to do with the outcome of the man that I am today. It was cool though. I mean, I made a lot of good acquaintances, and it got me through my days. I mean, I chill with girls and homies, and yeah, and I play a lot of sports without even being in school. I would literally go to school just so I could meet up with my homies after school just to play basketball or soccer or football.
You learned everything from the streets, you could say.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like sometimes I would go to school when school was done already, just to go
Okay.
meet up with my homies and see what we're gonna get into after. I just didn't like school, like the whole learning things, and like for me it was like, okay, like I could learn math and we could always talk math, we could talk numbers, we could be like, okay, like we're gonna sell this for this and you're gonna get this much out of it, out of each thing that you sell, and I'm gonna add that up and I'm like, okay, so my profit is this, you know. Okay, that sounds convenient for me, or it doesn't sound convenient, I'm not willing to take that risk or join that
The business
the
mentality.
business. Yeah, but when it came to like certain things, like I mean, I learned how to read and stuff like that, you know. But like when they're teaching you, like, oh, like they're teaching me like fucking Beowulf, you know, and fucking other little things like that, and even like history, like certain things in history that just didn't click with me. I'm like, this is boring and it's not interesting, and I feel like I'm never gonna be using this in school. Like science class too, a lot of things in science, like dissecting a frog. Like, what the fuck do I need to know how to dissect a frog? You know what I mean? It was just so irrelevant to me.
Yeah, true.
What was relevant to me was like the things that I found interest, and maybe school needs to focus more on what kids find interest and help kids since a young age, like develop them in what they find interest in, so that when they get out of school, they find a way to continue to go with that. Like how I said, when school stopped and ended, I wasn't gonna continue to be like, oh yeah, I want to go and major in history or get my doctorates and know how to fucking dissect a human now. Like no, I didn't, because it wasn't my interest. I started doing music in high school, so after high school, I continued to strive to continue to do what I like. You know what I'm saying? And if they would have implied what I liked in high school, then maybe I would have continued and been more like, oh, I am now. I want to go to school to be an artist. So, I mean, there's schools like that, like the Art Institute, like that, but. Yeah, in school they put too much bullshit in you that you're just like, man, I don't fucking want to do this. You know?
They try to pressure you on the system that they have to teach.
Yeah, like my daughter right now, she's going to school, bro. She's in fucking kindergarten and she has to do homework every day. My daughter don't even know how to count to 10. You know, like that's why I took her to school, and I'm struggling. Like, oh no, you have to count. Mama said, she's like 1, 5, 2. I'm like, no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then she's like struggling with that. And I'm like, damn, like why does she have so much homework if she don't even know how to count? And they're telling me, oh, she has to count this, and then I have to check her homework. I'm like, dude, she don't even know how to count yet. Why don't you guys teach her how to count first, and then make her do the homework,
next step?
You know?
Yeah.
I have a question for you, because I like the way you think and the way you express yourself too.
Appreciate him.
Do you think it's harder to be a man now than a man before, back in maybe the 1940s?
Like society, like the way they have it set up.
Like to raise a family.
Yeah,
now.
I think it's different. It's way different now. Like how you said, technology too, like social media and everything. It's a whole lot different. And yes, it's more difficult, just for the simple fact that before, I believe, I mean, even if you go to years that I don't know, I feel like when you had to be a man, you just had to be that. You just had to be a man, and a woman just had to be a woman. You know, men were men and women were
provide
women.
support,
and we didn't have other genders. You know, we didn't have none of that. So men just had simple rules. You know, provide, be a good father, you know, bring the bread home. You know, we struggle, but we still kept the family together. A woman, you know, had her roles as a woman and stuff like that. And then I think along the way now, it's like, it's kind of everywhere now. Like, men are talked down on a lot, and women are, you know, like they're empowered more than I think they should. Not because they shouldn't be empowered, but because now I feel like a woman is, say like a man can start a company in construction or something, you know, and work really hard, and even when he's a boss, he still has to be on top of stuff so he can make sure everything goes good, and then he'll have a big home, and then he'll have, you know, his cars, and then his kids will have good schooling and everything, right? But a woman that'll get her body done and start an OnlyFans and start getting all these followers without breaking her back can be an influencer and say, I don't need a man and I don't want a man, and women can do this too. And it's like it's empowering women, but putting down men. They actually build streets. They actually build schools. They actually do electric work. You know, that a lot of women, jobs that a lot of women can't do. But there's a lot more women now getting way more money than men are, because of la facilidad pues que tienen ellas de hacer feria más fácil. And I don't downgrade them for anything. Like, girls can get their money too and stuff. But it's kind of sad to see how a hardworking man can get single after his wife got her body done, and now she's fucking, you know, all over social media, getting booked at clubs because of the way she looks, when the man paid for that body to get done, you know.
And then also, well, back in the day, women looked for a hard-working man, like you said, that construction worker or mechanic, and now it's how much money you got. Not all the cases.
You know what I trip out on, bro? Like, say I'm on TikTok, right, and there's all these beautiful women, you know, light-skinned girls with color eyes and perfect bodies and showing their bodies, and I keep scrolling. Now there's this beautiful girl, all tatted. She looks like a gothic chick, bomb as fuck. You know, there's this. I keep scrolling. There's another other girl. This is a gym girl. She's athletic and she has nice leggings on, and she's at the gym and she's so fine. And there's all these beautiful women, beautiful, like perfect tens, you know, all over social media. But ain't none of us got one of those. You know what I'm saying? We got average females. We got average girls. We with the average girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are all these women at? They're like unicorns. They don't even exist. Like, I'll go to the store, I don't see them. I go to the club, like there might be one or two, and they're not even with a man. Or they're not married. They're with men, that they choose to be with because of what they can provide to their standards. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, it's like, even if I'm a bit handsome or I'm a bit good looking or I have a little bit of money or I'm doing all right, it's like those girls, they're like, I don't know, I could still do better. I could still, like, a woman's gonna, what's she gonna be like? Oh, this nigga works at the warehouse, has a good job for a fucking Amazon or for a fucking
UPS.
AutoZone, UPS or something, and he drives 2021 fucking Honda Accord. It's still kind of, he's doing decent. You know what I'm saying? He lives in an apartment by himself. He's single. But this female's pulling a guy that's a trapper, that's not as attractive, but drives a 2023 Mercedes and doesn't even have to work as much. You know what I'm saying? But he also has more options too. So he just has her like a side female. And then when we work hard and we strive them down, that goes fine. We still gotta wake up the next day and go to work and be like, damn, she ain't even fuck with me. Why? Because she got another nigga with a better car that works less, that got more money. Mm-hmm. They got more options.
Yeah.
The other day you were mentioning, you being a single father and no, but
yeah.
How is it being a single father and maybe having somebody by your side?
Well, I feel like, for me, being a good father now, because I don't ever really, or I think now I consider myself a good father more than before, because there's a couple people that see me, through social media or like my daughter's family or something, and they like to tell me that I'm doing a good job and I'm being a good father. People tend to point that out because I try, more than I am, I try. And I think being a good father now that my baby mama is gone and she passed away, now I feel like it just comes from being a good father before she was gone, when she was alive. Whether we were in a relationship or not, I always maintained being a good father. Set aside our differences, because I learned within time that, like, whatever a person's going to do with it, say like you're in a relationship, right? And whatever she's going to do, whether we're in a relationship or not, it's out of my control and out of my reach. And that person's still going to either find a way to go around it or get irritated by me not allowing them to do what they're gonna do. And I just need to give them their space, and I need to continue my role as a father, or my role in life in general. Like, I need to keep doing what I'm gonna keep doing and worry about me and my situation and my daughter, whatever. And instead of worrying too much about who that person's gonna see, fuck, or chill with, or start a relationship with. And I feel like understanding that towards the end, before she passed away, I feel like I learned just to worry about that and focus on being a good father and trying to do that. So when she was gone and now my daughter's in my care only, and I have to be a father, not even a good father, just a father, and take that father role. It just came from already being a good father before she passed away.
If you don't mind me asking, how did your partner pass? Because I could kind of tell it was surprisingly, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she OD'd. It's a little story because we weren't necessarily together in a relationship, but we were never not together. Like, we weren't official. She actually had a relationship at the moment that she had just split up, and at that time in that relationship that she started being in, I separated myself completely from her, because whenever things would go sour or whenever they would make her mad or something, she always looked for me to either cheat on her relationship or to find comfort, just closure. And I was always free and available for her because I loved her. I loved her so much. And I know there's a lot of men out there that feel like they can't live without their significant other, or they can't be without him. And that's what I meant by I had to learn how to, like, not worry about her and just worry about myself. And at that point, I learned how to separate myself and not mess up what she had going on, because at any given moment she would come back to me and I would welcome her with open arms. Which it was fine to me. It was fine because, but I wouldn't. I stopped interfering with her relationship, and so there was a time when she came. She had broken up, and she told me, "Look, I'm moving out of this place. I'm already paying right here where I'm staying." And she was kind of calling me more in a good way, like just trying to see how I'm doing or see if I want to hang out. That Friday night, she came and she spent the night with me. We it was a beautiful night. We stayed up late because we hadn't hung out like that in a long time. We talked about a lot of things about life and what life could be, whether we were together or what our lives were like at the moment. Because she had just started working at a new job. We started talking even about our relationships that we were having with other people. Her if she was cheating on the man that she was with or whatever was going on, and me if I was talking to somebody. We were open about everything, about every subject. That Saturday morning when we woke up, we had breakfast. We went back home. She was like, I gotta go because I gotta get ready for work. She left around maybe 3. She went home. She had her day, and she was working at a nightclub at that time. So she had her day there at the nightclub. Before she went to work, it was like around 7 or 8 before the club opened, whatever. She went to work and she called me. She's like, hey, I'm going to work now. I had work that day too. So she went to work and she was going to work and she called me and she's like, do you want to hang out again tonight? And I was like, well, I didn't think you wanted to. I was planning on going out because I already had plans to go do something with my boys. Because I didn't have a relationship. So, so I was free and she was free as well. Well, she was in a relationship, but she had just broken up. So she was kind of like trying to come back, without having nobody there. I was available. I was single. And I said, yeah, sure. Call me. What time you getting out? She's like, I get out at 2. I was like, I should probably be home by then. So yeah, just hit me up. She went to the club. She worked. She did whatever she did over there at the nightclub. And then I went out. I went to a strip club that night. Wasn't going to strip club, but we ended up at the strip club. When I got out, I went to my homie's Tacos La Doña, my boy over there, Raymond. We always go over there at the end because they stay open late. So we always go over there and finish drinking or finish eating and chill. I get there, and then when I'm on my way there, I'm thinking I'm going home. And she's like, "Oh, you're not home?" I'm like, "Nah, I just left the strip club, whatever." She knew everything, and I was like, "Cool." She's like, "Oh, cause I was gonna go over." I was like, "Damn, well, I'm gonna be going home right now in a little bit. I'm already driving." And she was like, "Nah, it's fine. I'm gonna just go home, get our daughter, and go home." And I was like, "You sure I could go home right now? I'm going home." And then my boy's like, "No, we're gonna go somewhere else." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, we're going somewhere else." He picked me up, so I told her it was like, "Just pick me up from there." She was like, "No, it's fine. Just go with your friends. You're already out with them. I'm gonna just go home. I'm tired anyways." I was like, "Cool." So I got to my boy's tacos, and then when I was there, I kind of felt like, fuck, like I wanted to be with her, And I was like, man, because I hadn't been with her because she had a relationship.
Sentías algo like,
Yeah.
Presintió.
And then the night before that, when she spent the night, I felt like it was just fucking perfect. Like a night that we hadn't had in a long time because we had the most perfect nights. There was something about us. We would spend nights where we wouldn't sleep all night, just be up all night, talk, have sex, talk, shower together, go back to bed, wake up in the morning, or not even sleep, like beautiful times that we would just spend together. And so I call her, and then she's like, yeah, I'm about to get home, but I'm gonna see because I don't have the key because she had just moved, and she's like, I'm gonna knock or whatever. She's like, let me call the lady or whatever. So I hang up with her, and then now I'm chilling with the homies right there, at the place, and they're playing music, whatever. So I call her again. I'm like, let me call her again. Like I want to be with her. I want to chill with her. I want to make sure she's home or whatever. So I call her again, and now she's in bed with my daughter, and she's laying there with my daughter, and I feel like she can't breathe or something like. And then I'm trying to tell her, like, dude, are you okay? Are you with somebody? Like, are you doing something? Like, I'm tripping. All these things are going through my head. And she's like, dude, I'm just trying to go to sleep already. Like, I'm tired. I had a long day. Like, and then this music playing in the background, and she's going like this, shh, 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 to my daughter, like, because my daughter's waking up. So she's like, you're waking up, Angel. Like, she's waking up. Like, I'll just talk to you tomorrow. How about I see you tomorrow then? I'm like, all right, you know what? My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, you just go to sleep. I was like, she's like, I'm just tired. That's why I sound like that. And I would say I hung up. I continued my night. I'd stay there for about an hour or whatever. Later, I went home. In the morning, I get a call, and her best friend tells me that she passed away. I guess she just didn't wake up. Yeah. So that's pretty much what happened, and it's pretty tragic because she passed me the phone to the officer that was there already in the scene, and he was like, "Oh, like you're her daughter's father and stuff like that, and your name is this and that, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I just said, "Yeah, can I go pick up my daughter?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can come. You can get your daughter, and I also want to talk to you. I want to ask you a couple questions and stuff." And yeah, and it was pretty sad, bro, because my daughter was there, and my daughter woke up next to her mother, not being alive, trying to wake her up, She got out of the room, and then the lady that she was staying with at that time, because she stayed at her best friend moved out of there to move in with her boyfriend, so that lady had just got that room empty, and then my baby mama broke up with her boyfriend, so she went over there and rented that room out with her. So it was all like a family type thing for her. So she was really happy to be in a good place with my daughter. So when my daughter went out there and she told the lady, "Yo, my mommy's not waking up," the lady called 911. 911's telling her, like, oh, proceed to do CPR on her, like to bring her back to life, or whatever she could do. And then she was telling me like, I was trying, but you're like, my daughter was over there pulling her like, no, leave mommy alone. Mommy's asleep, like. So my daughter had to go through that too, and it was something that it took us a while to kind of get over, because after a while my daughter just kept mentioning my mommy's dead. She was really sad. Now she's a little, not that she's over it, of course not, but she's a little more aware of the situation, that her mother's not here and then that happened, and more calm, and we're happy. We're trying to be happy, so it's good. So
¿Cuántos años tenía la
my daughter was 4. Tenía 4 años.
¿Y la mamá de?
She was 23.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace. I heard so rest in peace. I have a couple of the homies, she's dead, rest in peace her. I have my homie Snapper passed away, my homie Edgar passed away, the homie Swift passed away, the homie Beto passed away, the homie Arctic that I grew up with in Rialto passed away, and I mean the list goes on. It's tragic for different reasons, not same reason. My homie Snapper did also pass away too. He when he was chilling with this white girl, and he used to like to fuck around with other drugs, and he went over there to spend the night, and they split the pill, the same pill, they split it in half, and he just didn't react right. He just didn't wake up. So he just didn't wake up. It tends to happen like that. You just don't wake up, because you could be like right now talking and chilling, and te empieza a pegar, and while you pass away or while you go to sleep or something, you might not wake up from it. I guess, I'm pretty sure that's kind of how it happens.
That's happened to my cousin.
Well,
Yeah.
With deaths, you don't get over them. You just learn to live with them, no?
yeah, because I thought, I was like, damn, I was going through depression and just being sad, and then also taking my daughter's pain too from her being sad, and me being upset about it too, and then dwelling and thinking like, fuck, am I ever gonna be okay? Like, time and time I just keep asking myself, and then I don't remember exactly who it was. I wish I did, but I remember they told me, you're never gonna be okay. You're just gonna have to learn to deal with it and move on, and move forward and continue to strive, because it's not okay. It's never gonna be okay.
I bet in that moment the what ifs started going through your head.
Yeah, especially because she was supposed to go home to me, but then also, like, one of my peers was like, oh yeah, but what if she would have passed away when she was with you, and then they could have blamed it on you, because if you wouldn't been able. But then again, I'm like, but maybe if I would have saw that, then I could have saved her. I could have helped her take her to the hospital, because she was in bed by herself with my daughter. And I don't know, just like, like a lot of what ifs and shit. Yeah, so it kind of sucks. It's heartbreaking. Just thinking about it. It's only been a year and a half, so it's
fairly recent.
Yeah, it's very recent. So it's taking a toll. My daughter just started going to school. So when it comes to being a father too and stuff like that, like, I had to take that role strongly, because I was already a good father, but it was a teamwork effort, to where she would make a lot of like las citas al doctor, al dentista, whatever, and I had more freedom due to my job being a barber. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just take the day off and I'll take her, and you could just work that day, or you don't have to have the day off. And if she had the day off, she would do it, And then now it's like everything's on me. Like, now I have to be on it, and I have to make citas myself. I have to call places. I have to figure out I had to get her mother's death certificate. I had to do that. I had to get her social, because a lot of things, her birth certificate. I had to do a lot of things to get to where she's at right now too, like in school. Like, even today, I don't know if you saw my story, I was doing a lot of things. I was getting her shot record, because I had taken her shot record to school, but there was some missing, so I had to get her official shot records with all the shots from since she was born. So it's a lot of things now. Being a father, I'm also separated from a lot of things that I was used to, that I can't necessarily do, or I can't do freely, because I have her 24/7.
The
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Even dating is complicated now as well, bro. Like, females, like, you would think females would be like, oh damn, this who's responsible, and he takes care of his daughter. But I feel like women nowadays, like, way society is, sometimes they feel like, oh, that's cute, but it's like como una carga también, It's like kind of like, man, like, women are more like men are, like, they see maybe certain guys, not everybody, they see a certain girl and she has like 2 kids or something, and she'll look good and they'll be good for a meanwhile, but they wouldn't mind leaving because it's not their kid, and then they'll leave or they'll just want to fuck or whatever.
They just want her for.
They want her for whatever, and she looks good or whatever. Or even if she don't look that good, then be like, oh, damn, man, she has a kid, I'm good.
Quieren la gallina, pero no quieren los pollitos, ¿eh?
And it's in that sense, it's kind of like the script has kind of changed because not a lot of women would want to be with the guy that has all that responsibility when I can't go out whenever I want. I can't be disposable for them whenever I want. I'm always gonna love my daughter more than them, and have that responsibility. It's prioritizing her before anybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening up too.
Yeah,
muchísimas gracias. Ya sabes que somos compas, güey. Like,
and that's probably why you open up, ¿verdad? Para
that's
the
what
garage.
I'm saying. Sí. Yeah, because we've been hanging out a lot more too, and we fuck around a lot too. We always talking shit.
Y pues eso no se dijo en la parte 1, pues totalmente diferente, ¿no?
Y ya ven gente que pues se ha pasado por muchas cosas cabronas. Imagínate perder a alguien, la mitad de tu corazón, y aquí anda el compa SADFOO con todo.
Al 100.
Y hay otra gente que nomás le pasa un problemita o algo y ya se anda muriendo.
You see.
Yeah, like I like to live a lot for the day because, yesterday is gone, today is here, and tomorrow may never happen. And a lot of times, like, I have me that's striving a lot to accomplish a lot, and I give him mad props and stuff, and he tries to imply that, like, preaching, you have to be like this, and you have to do like that, because if you don't do that, and you don't do this, I'm like, dude, I'm not worried about none of that. I'm not stressing about that. I'm good. Everybody around me is good. We eat good. We have a roof over our heads, like I get from point A to point B, whatever. And it's good. Like, I'm living good. I'm not stressing. I pay my bills, I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a millionaire or become a millionaire. And if I do, and if I strive to do that, then maybe I will, or whatever. But I'm worried about the moment and living good. I rest. I sleep. I drink. I hang out. Take care of my daughter. Like, I'm chilling. Like, my boy is like trying to imply like you need to be like this, but what about your kids? Like, my kids are good. What do you mean? My baby mama, you ask her like, oh, but what are you? That's what she was asking me the night before when she spent the night. She was like, oh, but you don't care if you get into this and you get into that, and I was like honestly, like not really, because like life is already complicated as it is. Like, I only see my daughter 2 days out the week. Like we don't have a relationship. I come home to an empty house. Like, I'm just a man, whatever. I'm living life a little carelessly, which I'm not now, But at that time when she was alive, that was what I was saying. I'm living life carelessly. I'm taking chances. I'm taking risks. I'm traveling. I'm doing things and associating with certain people that maybe I shouldn't. And I don't care about the outcome. Like, I really don't. And then she was thinking like, well, she wanted to do a lot more. She wanted to do this and she wanted to do that. And she's like, you should do this. And maybe in the future we can both do this and build this. And look, now she's gone. Now she can't even raise her daughter. And it's because of the mistakes that she made and the choices that she took. Yeah, but that's why, like, as long as I'm doing right and I'm doing good and I'm not trying to, for example, like OD or get shot or get killed or whatever, I'm chilling. I have my job, I take care of my daughter. My daughter, like, when school started, I just bought her 4 new pairs of shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not doing bad. You know what I'm saying? She eats what she wants. I eat what I want. You know what I'm saying? We're good. You know what I'm saying? In that aspect. Fuck the future. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be at, but I hope I'm still doing at least as good as I am now, if not better.
And you will be.
You will be. Yep. Simon.
What if we change it up a little bit?
Let's do it.
Do you remember your first peda? Or maybe la peda that you remember the most?
I don't remember my first peda. But I remember one of my cousins, ese way iba Berkeley way. Upstate, and like San Francisco and stuff. And he had so much work and so much homework, bro. And we would be in the peda, dog, and everything. That fool be right there with the bug, dog. Right there, yeah, bro.
Era un borracho responsable.
Yeah, güey, siempre fue
pisteando y haciendo su homework.
Because he went over here to, I was going to say West Valley. He went over here to Valley College. Not West Valley, to Valley College. And then when he did good over there and he got everything that he needed there, he transferred to the school that he had. Because it's a prestige school. It's a really high school to go to Berkeley and stuff. And he did that. And he showed us that, he actually did what he wanted to do and do what he wanted to do. He's in computer engineering. That's just fucking dope. But ese güey era en la peda, güey, estaba con nosotros, le valía verga.
¿Y todavía se junta para las pedas?
Sí, pero pues ya no. It's because he lives in LA now.
Oh, okay.
He lives in LA and he works a lot more. He's a family man now. But this was times when he was in college and we were in high school. We were barely getting out of high school. Like, I didn't go to college, so he kept going to college, like, whew, you know, and he still went to college more after Berkeley. He still kept going to like Fullerton or Cal Poly, some shit like that. I don't know. He still kept going to school. It's crazy though. Pero nosotros no lo dejamos.
Did you get in any fights because of any alcohol or drinks, parties?
No, not really.
Calm?
Nah, not calm. But I mean, yeah, maybe, but not necessarily. I mean, I always learn how to control my substance, bro. Like, I'm not the type, like, see me, I like, if si va a pasar algo, güey, yo quiero que pase por alguna razón seria, porque cuando lo haga, I'm gonna mean it, and I'm gonna react upon it with a feeling that, like a strong emotion, you know what I mean? And like a feeling of wanting to take that anger out on you for you doing something that's worth money, you know, getting to that level. Like we could talk shit, or somebody could talk shit, and I could just be like, man, this, like, he's just talking shit,
Yeah.
and he did this and he did that. But what did he do to me? What did he do to my family? Did he stop me from, you know, anything? Like, no. Like, even when it comes to money, like, there's different people that they have started, say, like, they couldn't start a rumor and then stop certain people from fucking with me because they're starting a rumor of me or something. And now I'm looking like, damn, this was like a female, you know, like, está chismeando y mitoteando, diciendo cosas que ni son. Y luego, si la otra persona ya no quiere hacer negocios conmigo, ya no quiere hablar conmigo, también it's like, it's okay, bro. I'm not even worried. I believe that when one door closes, I'm gonna still keep looking to make things happen for me. So I'm gonna knock another door, and another door is gonna open, and then hopefully, and I'm not gonna open a door that's gonna be like harder or more expensive or have to deal with something that I'm gonna find something better.
Look for the better.
That's more convenient for me, or it's as good as what that person that I was already making business with is, you know. So in reality, I just lost 2 people that I didn't even need in my life. I don't need to get down with. I don't need to fucking go and kill them. I don't need to murder somebody for $1,000 or something. You know, like, what the fuck? I'm gonna lose my life over $1,000 that this motherfucker just stole. Nah, this motherfucker could have made so much more money with me in the long run, and now he just cut it off for $1,000 pack of bud or something. You know, like, come on, man, you gotta be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers out here, like, we in a Dino, nigga. Like, motherfuckers out here just go out and then they want to rob somebody for a little chump change instead of making business connection. Instead of being like, oh, like, you know, like, and it goes back to saying, like, el enemigo de un mexicano es otro mexicano. You know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers are out here robbing each other. Los árabes, you think they do it? No, these motherfuckers fly somebody from their country, give them a store, and then wait till they get up, and then they pay them back, and then they just continue that, you know, to get richer and richer and richer, and their same family. And us, it's like, oh, damn, that fool has money, dog. Like, let's make a business, and then we'll rob them. When they could have fucking made business and continue to make business together.
Yeah. In the long run.
But motherfuckers out here don't think like that. Es porque no tienen buena escuela también. Crecen en las calles y los vatos acá tienen mucha sed. They send their little homies to do their little dirt, end up locked up. You know what I was thinking the other day? Like, all these motherfuckers, youngsters flashing money and flashing their guns all over the internet. Fools from out here, you know, whatever. I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but I just see this shit. And it's like, all these motherfuckers are catching cases, gun charges, and they ain't never even shot somebody. They're going to jail for doing time, get out. They already have charges. They haven't even finished their case. Get caught up again for having guns and drugs. And they always get caught for guns or whatever. And they ain't never even shot nobody. They ain't never even gonna shoot somebody probably. But they're going to jail doing 7 years, 3 years, 4 years for having a gun that they shouldn't have. Or, you know, whatever. Bro, you never even shot nobody. Motherfuckers out here dying. I just know somebody that recently passed away. And he used to have a bunch of guns. I don't know if he ever shot nobody, you know. But I doubt it. And he ended up getting shot. So why the fuck did he always have all those guns for if he ended up getting killed? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you see? Muy cierto.
Compa SADFOO, you believe in the paranormal?
Like paranormal activity?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. I think it's fair to believe in some.
Has anything happened to you?
Oh, like, now that we're talking about guns and stuff like that. I used to live on 7th Street. But I was in a relationship, right? And it was like a duplex. So my girls at that time, her brother was from a certain street gang, you know? And then he comes in the room, he's like, hey, fool, let's fucking go get a beer and shit. He was already a little faded. I'm like, fuck, I'm about to put the kids to sleep, like, we chilling, you know what I'm saying? Like, just bring me one. He's like, all right, I'm gonna bring you one then. I'm gonna bring you one, you better drink with me. If you bring it, I'll drink it, but I'm already like, you know, wait a minute at least. Before that, there were some gunshots in the area. And then we didn't think much of it because there's always gunshots in the area. So those gunshots are like, they sounded close. So we're like, oh shit. I was like, whatever. He came in and he said about the beer things, and then he left to a liquor store. When he left to a liquor store, then we hear another gunshots again nearby. And I was like, damn, that shit sounded close. But I didn't think much of it again because of the other. It was just 5 minutes before that, 10 minutes before that, we heard gunshots too. And then I know I hear screaming. I hear screaming, and then they were screaming, and it was my cuñado, pues, en ese tiempo, my brother-in-law, that fool got shot 5 times.
No way.
Yeah, they ran up right in front. As soon as he opened the gate to go out, he was on the bike. He was on the ride of the bike. So as soon as he opened the gate, a car pulled up, and then they just said his name, and then they fucking just pop, dumped on him and shit. I went out there and shit. That motherfucker, he was dying. He was literally dying right there. He couldn't breathe. You could see that his body was full with holes because of how much the blood was just leaking onto his shirt because he had a white shirt on and shit. It was just like, like pumping. As he was trying to breast for air, he was like trying to breathe and shit. And I'm like, don't trip, dog. Like, and his girl was pregnant at the time, so she was about to pop like next month type shit. And then we just fucking grabbed him, put him in the fucking car, picked him up, me and the other homie that was there, because we were having like a little barbecue, but it was very late, so so we put him in the car, and then she just took him to the hospital. Okay, so now when the paranormal activity comes, we left the house. Everybody left the house. I was staying at my homie's, but my homie, he worked and party a lot because he's a DJ, so he worked a lot at night. And then I worked at the shop. So whenever I had to go home or to go stay at his place, that he was letting me stay for a few days before we came back because we wanted things to cool down at the pad, Because his family, my boy's family, was like, damn, if this motherfucker, if they see him again, they didn't finish the job. They probably want to come back and finish the job. So we were like, all right, cool. So they left. I left. And then when I was there, I was like, sometimes I was sleeping in my car. And then when I was sleeping in my car, I was feeling real uncomfortable. So, like, llegó el tercer día, dije, fuck that, I'm gonna go back home. I had the keys, so I went back home. I got some chicken from the store. I turned the grill on. I fucking grilled me some chicken. Fucking marinated, whatever, ate, went to sleep. The house was empty because there's a duplex. So it's 2 houses that are the same. In one house, certain people live. And then in our house, certain people live, and there was always like a lot of activity, a lot of presence. I go to sleep, and I'm talking to my girl, 'cause she's with her parents out another place, and I'm like, man, I'm going to sleep, but can't sleep, like, so empty. I can't sleep without you. I've been sleeping in my car. I fall asleep, and then I have sleep paralysis, and I feel like I'm still, how it feels, like you can't move and shit. And that was the first time I ever had it, bro. And I felt like so fucking strong, like I couldn't move and shit. And then it was like, I felt like I saw a presence of a white being, like in a wedding dress per se or something glowing, And I was in a small bed, like a queen size bed. Well, it's not small, but it's a queen size bed, and I was by myself. And then boom, that's it, it was gone or whatever. And then I fucking just called my girl back, like, hey, the fuck, she's like, nah, for real. And I was like, fuck, I was like, just stay on the phone with me, like. Stay on the phone with me so I fall asleep because I was shook, because I never had that happen. And I woke up. I fell asleep. And then she was still on the phone. Her phone was still on. And the phone was still on. Her phone was on. And I fell asleep. And then I know I just hear gunshots again. Ta, 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 ta. And then a gunshot fucking comes in flying through
the wall.
Well, I didn't know it came in yet, but it was gunshots, and then I hear something break inside the house, like ping, like glass, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like they're fucking breaking in, At that time, I had a tool with me, so because I wasn't gonna be there, but no condoms, no protection per se, right? So I grabbed my protection and stuff, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm in my boxers, and I'm just like, in my briefs or whatever, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, and then she's on the phone too, and I'm like, "Nah, just be quiet, because I had just fallen asleep, so she was still on the phone. She was snoring too, and I woke her up and. I'm like, no, hold on, just be quiet. And I had the phone, and I had my tool on me, and then I'm going towards the kitchen, and I'm like, I can't see shit. It's all dark. And then I fucking just keep going to the kitchen, and I go to the kitchen, and then I see that the window's cracked, and then a bullet had came in through the kitchen window, and it hit the chandelier from the living room. It hit the chandelier, and then the chandelier fucking broke, and it fucking landed on the floor, yeah.
Lo bueno es que no había nadie ahí, güey.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but it was already pretty late. But after that, like, I started seeing paranormal activity, or even like La Santa Muerte, a little different, because I felt like she wasn't even trying to do nothing bad to me.
Just warn you. Maybe?
I think she was trying to warn me and trying to keep me aware and trying to give me a little sign of like, yo, they coming, like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So in
saying?
reality, eso te.
Because she
te
could
dio
have took
un-
me.
Yeah.
I could have been gone. It could have gone through my window because the kitchen's on this side and the room's on this side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I woke up and then I was alert and I was on the phone with my girl at that time. She was my girl. It wasn't my baby mom, it was my girl. This just happened years ago. And then, yeah, and I was like, damn. So now I have sleep paralysis. I had sleep paralysis like last month, like twice. And then it comes to me. I remember it came to me and I feel like it pulled me. And I was like, a la verga. And then it pulled me again, like it started dragging me. And then I just remember saying, like, que verga, ¿qué traes? Deja estar chingando. And they just let me go. And then I woke up. And it's like I feel like, not necessarily just that time, but I can speak to my demons per se freely and not be scared, not be afraid, because I feel like sometimes they're probably here to protect us more than they are to harm us.
Sí.
Qué buena plática, compa.
Estuvo
Thank
bueno.
you for joining us.
Muchísimas
True
gracias.
stories.
Y
Sad
que estén
truth.
pendientes por part 3, ¿verdad? Que
Part 3, you already know.
hay mucho para contar.
I know.
Aquí le
Barbershop.
seguimos echando
¿verdad?
pedo.
Pero part 3 que sea puro paranormal ahora que venga
A
October.
la
Ahora que venga October.
Sad.
¿Cómo lo podemos
For real.
encontrar en las redes sociales para que las
Everything-
babies los vayan a
everything
chequear?
is-
Para que las
Las babies.
Everything is SADFOO together. SADFOO underscore ABE. ABE. Everybody calls me ABE. Like, if you grow up with me, everybody calls me ABE. But, you know, I guess now SADFOO. I just dropped my mixtape. It's True Story, Sad Truth. I
Go
have
check
a-
it out.
Yep. I have a couple of songs on Spotify and YouTube, you know, on Apple Music. So check me out, man. My mixtape's called, like I said, True Story, Sad Truth, because all I speak is real. I don't be exaggerating much. I don't talk about shit that I really don't do, and I don't exaggerate shit either. It's just pretty much shit that just be happening. It's a lot of sad shit, you know. You know what it is.
Ahí vamos a estar poniendo el link, raza, for
Yeah, we
his
know.
mixtape.
Yes, sir.
También se ocupan un cortecito ahí de...
Oh yeah, if you guys
también.
need a cut, I'll be getting Buzz Barbershop over there with my boy Sapo. You know what it is. We out here.
Off of Highland Avenue ahí.
Yes, sir. For Highland.
Y si no han mirado la primera parte aquí con el compa SADFOO, también ahí se van para abajo en la lista and you guys can find
Check it
part
out.
one.
Check it out. Check it
Pues
out.
también está, la
You know
neta,
the deal.
pasado de lanza.
Y esperen la part 3 próximamente, ¿verdad?
Yes,
Y
sir.
síganos en las redes sociales a nosotros también. Dejen un comentario, su like. Y estén pendientes para el próximo. Muchas gracias.
Buenas noches, raza.